presents. Welcome to LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. I'm your beautiful and royal queen of LJV and today's intro host.
Who said you get to host today's intro?
Duh! Because this is Royal Rumble weekend. And since I'm Royal AF, I should get to host this.
All Mayor Aaron said was for all of us to meet inside this ring. Yes, Robo-Tamina 1 is right. All he said was that, but he also said cough, 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 mucus, curse word.
Excuse me. Well, hey, I'm glad to see that y'all got my email to meet in the ring for today's intro. Now, truth being told, I have been sick for weeks now. I feel like garbage. And I have some figures to review this weekend. So what I need from all of you is to pull through and try to make these intros entertaining. Starting with today's video.
Entertainment? Like a puppet show?
No. Robo-Tamina 2? This is nothing like a puppet show? Okay. The reason I wanted y'all to meet inside this ring is today y'all are gonna have your very own LumberJillville Royal Rumble. And the winner... Okay, and Dexy eliminated himself already. Oh, Dexy, did you eliminate yourself because you're a true gentleman? Psh, not surprised, Dexy, and that's why you're my dude and why you belong here in LJV. But let's cut to the chase for the rest of you, okay? The last woman to be standing tall when all the other competitors have been eliminated is going to get the opportunity to host the Jillies Red Carpet event, which will take place before the Jillies Award Show next weekend. Good luck, y'all. Now, if you don't mind, me and Dexy are going to go watch the Royal Rumble pre-show. Come on, bro. Good luck.
Okay. Well, is he ever gonna, ring the bell?
See you later, the Queen of Obliviousness.
Not so fast, Mayor Alexa.
Oh, well, just great. Now none of us will get to host the Jillies Red Carpet event. Wait.
Oh hey, where did everyone go? Oh, there you all are. I've been helping write the script for the Jillies on my tablet and got caught up in my work. Did Mara say something about a Royal Rumble? What did I miss? Yes, Secretary Stase. We were all in a Royal Rumble, and since you are the last remaining contestant, that means you win. Well, what's the significance of me winning? You get to host the Jillies Red Carpet event next weekend before the award ceremony. Oh, excellent. I'm very excited for that. Since I'm hosting the event, I expect you will all dress up in your most glamorous attire. Now I'm going to keep working on the script. Let me know if Mayor Aaron needs anything. Except for a date to the awards show.
Welcome to LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you to please hit subscribe to become an official resident of LJV and get a first look at all future women's wrestling figures, like today's WWE Elite Series 101 Sonya Deville. Now, truth being told, like I mentioned in the intro, I've been sick for weeks. It's been miserable. but I'm starting to become on the mend, starting to get better. But if I sound a little different, please forgive me. But I am excited to get this review out to all of you today, especially if you're watching the day of the release. It is the day of the Royal Rumble, so I'm super excited for that. And stay tuned, Basic Series 137 Aaliyah should be here very soon, so that review will be next. Now, that being said, let's take a closer look at this figure. Alright, so let's start off with the packaging here. Now, we did get spoiled with Elite Series 100 and how unique and how striking that packaging was. But this works just fine. It's that black and blue theme with the red accents. We have an image of Sonya on the front. On the side, that same image enlarged. And on the back, we have a little bio here. Down here it says, though she's the SmackDown GM with the jacket on, Sonya Deville is ready to square up once the jacket comes off. And then we have the rest of the line there. So, not much to say about the packaging here. It is that flimsy cardboard feeling, but we are going to open this up. So, let's do that and take a closer look at the figure itself. WWE Elite Series 101, Sonya Deville. This attire is from the December 10th, 2021 edition of SmackDown from Los Angeles, California. On this night, Sonya was supposed to take on Naomi, but the match never officially got started. Her ringside cronies Natalya and Shayna Baszler got involved, but a debuting Xia Li would appear and help Naomi fight off Sonya, Natalya, and Shayna. Alright, some overall first impressions of this figure. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, we're going to obviously take a closer look at that face scan and sculpt here in a minute, but I don't think it looks that much like her. Now, seeing images online, I know it was kind of a split. Some people loved it, some people did not like the scan, how it turned out. And I never make that judgment call until I have it in hand. But in hand, yeah, I don't think it's the best. But we'll see once we get an up-close look here. But either way, I really do like the attire. I think the attire is so simple but striking. I love it. I love that jacket accessory. And speaking of accessories, so she comes with 2 semi-open hands. See, she also comes with 2 fist hands. Now, let's take a closer look at this jacket accessory. So it is a soft goods jacket, which is really cool, and it does fasten, I believe. I think it's supposed to. Mine really doesn't. That Velcro is kind of worn down. But yeah, it's supposed to fasten like that, but okay, it kind of does. So it looks okay when it's on her. It's a soft goods material, and she has these little like plastic pieces that are sewn on with silver accents painted on to look like the buckles all throughout. So that's nice. But taking this jacket off here is rather simple, I would guess, as I struggle. Okay. Alright, it's really not that hard. Okay, so now we got the jacket off. Let's take a closer look at the figure. Let's start off with that face scan and sculpt. Alright, so starting off with that face sculpt, face scan, and hair sculpt, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. I do not think this is a very good sculpt and scan. Which is crazy because they've really been hitting some home runs lately. But this, I do not think looks like Sonya Deville, especially in person, having it in hand. Now, I don't think it's like a complete disaster like the Elite 88 Trish Stratus sculpt and scan. But I do think it's off. And I'll give you a couple different angles here so you can kind of judge for yourself. But yeah, I really don't think it looks like Sonya. Something's off here. I don't know what it is. It might be the face shape itself or what. But to me, having it in hand, and I did order 2, and I was looking at them both, and both of them I'm like, there's something off about this sculpt and scan of the face. I can't put my finger on it. But there are some things I like. I do like that dark lipstick that's applied. That dark eye makeup is cool. And that jet black hair sculpt definitely works here. But yeah, I know there was a split with people online, whether they liked it or not from images that they saw. But having it in hand, I can tell you that it's really not the best face scan and sculpt in my opinion. Not horrible, but not very good. So let's move on down to the body sculpt and the attire because this is where the figure is excellent. I love this body sculpt. Definitely does a good job of capturing Sonya's physique there. Very cool, and the attire is very striking. Now the first thing you'll notice is the tattoo detail. So on the forearms, we can see the tattoos on her left. Also on her back, she has her tattoos, which is very intricately printed on. And her right arm as well has tattoos throughout. Now, as far as the attire itself goes, we have these gloves that are painted on. And this top has a lot of sculpted detail, which is very, very cool. So these straps are sculpted on the top. Around that neck is sculpted. Even the little buckles are sculpted. And these little buckles and straps on the front. There's also a little stitch pattern that's sculpted on, which is cool. Moving on down around her waist, we do have that painted over belly button. But in this case, it's really hard to tell, so I can definitely let it pass. but it is a painted over belly button there. But we do have this nice belt that's sculpted on that goes around right in the midsection there, which is cool. Now, something that's really cool about this figure, and it might be hard to see on camera, it might not, you'll have to let me know in the comments, but there's different shades of black used. So there's a matte black, which we can see kind of as the base, and then there's a shiny, reflective type black that they use on the paint around her neck there, and then even on some of the patterns on her legs here. It's like that shiny black. And I just think that's really cool. And if you look at the attire, that's how it looked. So it's one of those things that's kind of hard to capture on camera here, but having it in front of me, it's a really, really cool attire. This might go down as one of my favorite body sculpts and attires in my collection. I just think it's excellent. Not only is the sculpted detail really cool and intricate, but I love how they have the two different paint applications of the black, the matte color and the shiny. Now, it is important to note on my other Sonya, this area where it's kind of shiny, it's kind of peeled away and chipped off. So this might rub away over time. I'm not sure. But as it stands right now, this finish looks great. Now looking down at her boots here, the boots are also very unique to her. A lot of sculpted detail there. And it looks cool. So yeah, in my opinion, as far as the attire and the body sculpt goes, it doesn't get much better than this. Alright, so next I wanted to do a little side-by-side comparison between all of her figures released so far. So obviously on the left we have what we're looking at today, Elite 101. Right here we have Elite Series 69, which was a Target exclusive collector's edition. Then we have her two basics that came out in Basic Series 95, the regular and the Chase. And these are some of the best basics that Mattel has ever released. I mean, the body sculpt and even the little sculpted piece, the gladiator type piece, is excellent. And that likeness is really good. These are amongst the best basics, but they are basic, so we're going to do mostly a comparison between her two Elites. So let's get these basics out of here. See ya. Good figures, like I said. So we're going to move on closer to her two Elites. So, yeah. This Elite Series 69 is very cool. This jacket piece here is excellent. But note to self, this little strap that goes around and ties it. If you have this figure and you have not lost this strap, pat yourself on the back, because that thing has been lost and found many, many times here in LumberJillville. So taking off her jacket, I think this figure looks even better displayed without it. I mean, this figure's attire is tremendous. Not only is it really vibrant with the paint scheme here, but this little gladiator piece that's sculpted on really stands out. Now, it's important to note real quick that if you are buying this figure MOC online, there was a lot of these figures that were released without this little plastic gladiator piece, and it's hard to tell in the package because in the package the robe is kind of wrapped around and hiding it. So I've seen a lot of people selling these online, and the first thing I ask them is, does it have this little plastic piece or not? Because without it, the figure looks weird. It completely ruins the figure. So if you're buying this figure MOC online, make sure the seller can kind of see if this plastic piece is included, because without it, it totally ruins the figure, but with it, it looks amazing. So just a heads up there. But yeah, this figure rules. I did do a full review on it earlier in the channel, but this likeness, I think, is spot on. I think the face shape, the scan, the sculpt, everything is great. The hair's great, and I think it's excellent. Now, comparing it next to today's Elite, do you kind of see what I'm saying now? I mean, I was even questioning myself when I was looking at the Elite 101 face because it didn't look as bad as I was reviewing it. But here's a good example of it just looking kind of off, you know? Like the Elite 69, I think, looks like her from pretty much all the different angles. And this Elite 101 is definitely off in my opinion. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it. I'll have to let these figures sit on my shelf for a while and see which scan I end up liking overall. But I'm hoping that this 101 grows on me. But yeah, something's off about it. So this is definitely, obviously, a completely different era of Sonya Deville's gimmick. So if I had to suggest which Sonya Deville to get, that's tough. But I honestly think this Elite 69 is one of the most underrated women's wrestling figures of all time. So if you can find this for a good price, get it. But make sure you check with the seller and make sure it has this plastic little piece here. So now let's do articulation. Okay, the head can look right okay, can look left okay, it can kind of look down, kind of look up. Shoulders on a ball joint, can go in all different directions. She has really good range of motion. She can bring her arms really close to her body. She has an upper arm swivel. She has double jointed elbows. The first Sonya with double jointed elbows there. She has a wrist swivel, wrist extension, wrist flexion. She has this upper torso swivel, which she actually has a really good amount of range of motion here. She can really move in all different angles, so that's awesome. She has a waist swivel. She has a hip on a ball joint, can move in all different directions. A little squeaky there. She has an upper thigh swivel there, can turn right here at that joint. She has double jointed knees, can really bend. She has an upper boot swivel, and her boots can plantar flex down, dorsiflex up, and they can also rock side to side. So as far as articulation goes, this is an excellently articulated figure, and Sonya's most articulate figure to date. All right, so overall, I give WWE Elite Series 101 Sonya Deville an overall score of an 8 out of 10. Even though I don't think the likeness is the best, I don't think it's truly horrible. And what really makes up for that is how amazing that attire is. Not just the sculpted detail, but the paint detail. It's just a striking figure in hand. But the face does take it down a little bit, and I really do think that it could have been better. But it is an excellent figure, and that's why it gets an 8 out of 10. Thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. For our first look at all future women's wrestling figures, make sure to hit subscribe and become an official resident of LJV today. Head on over to ringsidecollectibles.com and use coupon code LJV at checkout to save 10% on your next order of women's wrestling figures. Now stay tuned, Basic Series 137 Aaliyah should be here very soon, so that review will be up very soon. Also, the Jillies Award Show did get pushed back, but it will be the first weekend in February. I have so much in store, so much planned for it, and I'm really excited to premiere that for all of you, so stay tuned for that. And I'm real excited to see what figures win awards. Now, at the time of this recording, the Royal Rumble is tonight, and I'm stoked. I hope the women have a fantastic night. I hope they get the show out, and I'm stoked. So who do I predict to win? Who do I want to win? My girl Dakota Kai, the love of my life. I mean, yeah. I want Dakota Kai to win the Rumble, baby. Now, I'm real excited to see the surprises, and yeah, overall, who wins it? I mean, there's tons of women I'd love to see win, including Lacey. But I'm going to go with Dakota Kai for tonight. So let's hope that happens. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great night. And I'll see y'all soon.